So, have you ever tried to lose a lot of weight and you got to a point where you had seen some success and then all of a sudden things just kind of backslid? Well, that right there is usually where people quit. And that's almost what hit me this week. So, let me kind of walk you through what I've seen, what I'm doing, and just kind of share a little bit more about my story if you're feeling this way. Hopefully, this helps. So, I stepped on the scale this morning and I was up 8 pounds. That was after tracking my food all but 2 days because we had Easter last weekend and I had two separate Easter breakfasts or meals. And then I walked 10,000 steps a day outside of those 2 days as well. And then I added in weightlifting over the past week. And it didn't make any sense to me because if you've been here before, you know exactly how that feels. You're like, I just don't understand. I did what I needed to do. The scale doesn't show the results that I was expecting. And now I'm frustrated because I've done all this work and I'm not getting anywhere. So if you're going through this right now, you're not alone. I want to share my journey with you, and I do that every week on this channel, and I do it through TikTok, Instagram, and then YouTube Shorts as well, so you can keep up to date with what's going on in my life and how I'm navigating some of these frustrations around weight loss. I've got a big goal of trying to lose another 100 pounds by next July, and right now I'm on a short-term goal of trying to lose 30 pounds in the next 100 days. So make sure to follow along, subscribe so you can see all of those videos coming out as I put them out. So going back to kind of how that makes you feel when you step on that scale, it doesn't match up with the work you've done. Those negative thoughts really start to creep in. Your brain starts saying, "This isn't working. I messed up something. I need to change something." And realistically, that's not what we need to do at that point. Now, if you're seeing consistent increase in weight week over week, then yes, that may be the case. And you may be at the point where you do need to make those changes. But if you have 1 week where the weight just skyrockets, don't make any changes yet. So this used to be what I did. I would cut calories, I'd add in more cardio, I'd go for a run, or I'd start over completely, take a week off, and be like, I'll come back to it later. That's what I used to do. Since February, I've really locked in on what I'm trying to focus on, and that's tracking my food, walking my 10,000 steps, and then in April, I started a new step of weightlifting every day, alternating legs and arms back and forth. But that was the old me. The new me, I paused. I had to pause because I didn't understand how I could have gained 8 pounds in 1 week with really not doing anything crazy. It wasn't completely off my diet. I still tracked to some degree with the holidays, but I wasn't that far off. There's no way I gained 8 pounds. That would have taken 28,000 extra calories on top of my maintenance calories, and my maintenance calories are 2,900. So I would have had to go over that by like 4,000 a day to make that up. And that's just not, I just didn't do that. So what actually changed? Like I said, I started lifting and we had a holiday weekend where I had two holiday meals. The lifting creates inflammation. Inflammation comes from those micro tears in the fiber. Your body is sending water and nutrients and all this stuff to that area to help it heal and recover. Holiday food probably had more sodium. It was definitely a lot of more carbs, so there's gonna be biscuits and potatoes and cheese and all this different stuff that's in there that my carbs were definitely up over the weekend, and I know that. And with carbs, I've said this before, glycogen comes from those carbs. So for every 1 gram of carb, you get 1 gram of glycogen in your system. Glycogen can hold 3 to 4 grams of water on its own. So if I had high carb intake plus muscle inflammation, my water retention probably skyrocketed, or that's the only thing I can think of. And through my research, that's kind of what I've determined has actually happened. So the scale went up, but it's not because I gained fat. I didn't put on 8 pounds of fat. And that's the mistake that most people make. They think that the scale only measures their weight loss and weight gain, but they think it's all fat. And that's not true. Like, it measures everything that's going on in your body: water, food, inflammation, glycogen stores, the water retention from those stores, all of it. And it all goes into that one number. So here's what I'm going to do: nothing. I'm not changing a darn thing. I did have a little bit of a panic attack because I've been working really hard to lose the weight that I want to lose, and I've been making good progress towards that. And this month, the first weigh in of the month is 8 pounds higher than what I ever expected it to be. So that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to do the things that I've been doing, tracking my food to under 2,500 calories, walking 10,000 steps a day, and lifting Monday through Friday. The weekends I will take a break. I want to go into Monday refreshed and ready to lift and work my butt off for 5 days again. So that's what I'm doing. Instead of asking what should I change if you're in this mental state and you've had these big fluctuations real quick, before you do anything, ask, did I do my plan? Did I follow my plan to a T or as close to that as possible? And I can honestly say, outside of Saturday and Sunday, I did. I stayed on track the rest of the week. I was under my calories. I got my steps in. I did it. So outside of those 2 days, I did. And even on those 2 days, I still worked really hard to make sure that I wasn't eating a ton of calories. Now, I did get my steps, and it was the weekend, so I didn't lift. But I followed my plan accordingly based off of how I set it up. So this is really where most people quit is they come to this conclusion that something's not right, they've done something wrong, it's just a waste of time, and that's not me anymore. So I don't want it to be you anymore. I want you to keep pushing through those times. Stick to the plan that you've set up, don't make any big changes, and make sure to subscribe and follow my journey so that you can see the frustrations that I go to and go process kind of mentally what I'm sharing because I know that there are people that are in the same position that had big weight gains in the last couple weeks and it's completely knocked them off their plan. And instead of getting right back on plan and sticking to it, they've now pushed that to a side and said it's not going to work. Or maybe they've decided, okay, well, I'm going to go take medicine to help with that. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you still have to have a plan. You still have to stick to that plan. And I honestly think that you can do weight loss at any level with any amount of weight that you need purely from food, exercise, and water. That's it, literally it. So don't quit. If you're at this point, keep pushing through, keep doing what you've been doing to get to that next step and to get to that goal that you have in mind, and focus on the day to day. You're going to have fluctuations in the scale. Just keep pushing through.